Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Emily Gear. I'm a transformative energy healer in a multidimensional channel. I'm here with your weekly message for the next 7 days or so, regardless of what day you find this recording. We're going to be picking up on the major themes, and especially the healing themes that the collective is going through at this time. And you may or may not resonate with the whole reading, but most people resonate with at least part of it, okay? I want to take this moment to direct your attention again to the screen where my website is, and this is where you can go to take a look at ordering a private session with me, either for a reading or healing session. Or also there are some readings and channelings by email available on my website as well, if that suits some of you a little better, okay? So thank you so much for being here. I want to thank everybody who's been commenting so much on my videos. I really appreciate it and love reading your thoughts and how the messages are affecting you or resonate with you. So I thank you for doing that. I do my best to acknowledge each one, even if I haven't been replying a lot, but I usually will acknowledge with a little heart. So anyway, thank you so much for doing that. And for the new subscribers, thanks for joining. I'll get into the reading now. I've already opened the records and asked for messages for the collective that are important for us this coming week in the next 7 days or so. Got the Druid Craft Tarot today. It's been a while since I've used this one. Okay. All right. So at the bottom of the deck at this moment is the Ten of Wands. So something is weighing heavily on you or someone else. What I pulled out here is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So it may be literally a physical situation regarding your money or your home or your assets, or even a family, something that's sort of a larger financial commitment or stabilizing sort of commitment. So it could be your family unit, could be your family business, something like that. We've got the Two of Cups here in the upright. We've got the Ace of Cups in reverse, and we've got the Eight of Cups in reverse. So I feel like there might still be a little bit, we talked last week about the martyr energy, I think, and there might be a little bit of overgiving still going on, and or sacrificing oneself for the legacy or for the the larger group, the family, the group, whatever it is, whatever is representing your Ten of Pentacles in your situation. What I feel like is that we're valuing the whole more than our individual selves, which there are times in which that kind of sacrifice is admirable, but I feel like because the Ace of Cups is showing up in reverse here, that we may be neglecting ourselves on some level, and that it's important for us to sort of balance that back out so that we can fortify ourselves before attempting to serve the whole. Okay, that's an important balance to have, because obviously if there's nothing left within you, if you are a shell of a human being trying to support everything, and I'm just now taking a really personal message out of that, so I guess it's for me too, that you cannot hold up the structure. They're showing me Atlas holding up the earth. You do not have to carry the world on your shoulders. You are not asked to. You are not supposed to. And so we actually, what they're also saying right now for any of you that this is resonating for, is that when we try to hold the world on our shoulders, we try to take on problems that are not necessarily ours. We try to fix things for other people. We actually deprive them, we strip them of their free will and their ability to make their own choices or help themselves or grow spiritually or mentally or emotionally or whatever it is, because, or even physically, if you're, you know, overdoing and helping someone rehabilitate or something like that, and they're not doing enough on their own, they're not going to learn to get better. They're not going to heal. They're not going to whatever it is in your situation. So in some ways, you know, we self-sabotage. We also sabotage those that we're trying to help when we overdo it. That doesn't mean that you should never help anyone, but it's really important to understand the balance and to make sure that you are also coming from a place of wholeness when you do it, and not serving out of a place of feeling inadequate. Okay? I think this came in to the reading last week as well, when we talked about the martyr energy, because sometimes when we quote unquote martyr ourselves for a cause or for a group or for our family or for another person, it's because we don't feel whole in ourselves. We feel like this is the way in which we create our worth, but our worth is intrinsic. It isn't created. It came with us, right? It was created when Creator created us. Make sense? So this is the big burden for this week, it seems like, with this Ten of Wands here. I want to see what else wants to come out. Six of Wands with the King of Wands in reverse. What I'm feeling is that the message here is that we don't need to push so hard in order to be successful at whatever it is we're trying to be successful at, right? It could obviously literally be like some kind of project or job or something like that. But in other cases, it's really just about sort of a surrender into the trust that the highest and best will be served, okay? When we are pushing so hard in a manipulative fashion, we pull ourselves out of the flow of the highest and best, okay? The highest possible vibration. We fall right out of it when we are in that kind of manipulative, pushing mentality. Because we're not in trust. We're not in full alignment with our divine selves and the divine itself and the divine within us when we are so unsure of ourselves that we push and push and push, okay? I want to say also, with this Eight of Cups having shown up earlier, that we block ourselves in doing this. We actually inhibit ourselves from being able to reach the sort of fulfillment that we think we want, and we do want. It's just that we are trying so hard to get there in a very human way, in the way that we know how, but we're learning a new way, okay? So I don't want you to blame yourself. Like I'm always saying, don't blame yourself. This is the way that you know how. This is what you have learned, right? But we're learning something new. There was a renewal with last week. So there was a change, and we've got new skills to start making higher vibrational choices, making more aligned choices with, again, who we really are, as all these levels that we've always had with us continue to open up to give us more access, more space to grow and expand into, okay? All right. What else is coming out here? What else for the collective, please? Eight of Swords, Prince of Cups, Prince of Wands. Don't look at my low vibrational choice of drink. Okay. Eight of Swords, Prince of Cups, Prince of Wands. All right. There is so much that you want to do right now. There is so much that's in your heart and that you're feeling that you are moving toward or aligning toward or wanting to attract into your life. You've been taking steps to get there. You may have felt really energized at different times in the last several weeks to get there, and you are getting there. There may be a bit of frustration, though, in ways that you feel that you're being held back, things that are not falling into place for you. And I want to say that this is not because you're not going down the right path necessarily on the larger scale. This is not because you're doing the wrong thing on the larger scale. But on the more minute mental scale, you may, again, be blocking yourself with some old patterns here. And I think that is harking back to this talk of directing your energy so forcefully to a specific outcome is slowing the process of manifesting what you desire, because you already know what you want to a certain extent, but instead of allowing it to develop in the highest and best way, you're focused on an end game, which is sort of throwing everything out of whack in between. And it's also possible that the end game that you are focusing on is not even, you're setting your bar too low even, okay? Or at least out of alignment, right? So what I want to suggest there, because we've got the Eight of Swords, was suggest the hang up is in the mind. So it's really about undoing our perceptions of the way things need to be. And the more effective tactic is to feel what it would feel like when all of these manifestations unspecifically come to fruition. So think of it on a broader sense and then feel what that success would feel like, okay? Instead of picturing exactly what the success looks like, picture what it feels like, but allow the details to come in organically as you move forward. And that creates a much smoother path and not so much stopping and starting, okay? And it also directs by the feeling, by the heart, as opposed to directing by the mind. And the mind is not a bad thing, but it can easily get out of control, okay? And right now, that's what's kind of holding you back here, is some kind of preconceived notion, some kind of way that you think things need to go. And again, taking another personal message from that right now, we all need to let go of that, because we are here to continue to align in the most surrendered way to our divine selves. And our divine selves do not need to push. We simply attract to us what we require, okay? Or what is right for us, what is in alignment. There may be times where you take action, of course, but that guidance to take that action is attracted into us in such a way that it flows perfectly. If it's not flowing, you're out of alignment in some way. Again, taking the personal message. All right, let's see what else. I also want to say that in some cases, some of you are holding back because you're afraid of doing something wrong. And this comes in with the last snippet of information where sometimes we are asked to act. And in this case, if this part is resonating with you, you may be asked to act and you have held yourself back because you're afraid of doing it wrong. You're afraid of like messing up and having to restart or stopping and starting. And sometimes if you are such guided, and honestly, in most cases, taking initial steps toward a goal is positive. You don't have to have it planned out. part of what we're learning here is letting go of all the really specific planning. So taking messy action, so to speak, may be what is necessitated, following the heart toward the next step and not worrying so much about having the full picture, that the full picture or the perceived need for the full picture or plan is what is holding you back. What else, please, for the collective? I'm also hearing right now specifically, it's none of your business what other people are doing right now. So if you think you need to know what a counterpart or a partner or somebody else is doing right now, it's not important for whatever this big accomplishment you're trying to make is in your life. Ugh, whole bunch of reversals here. Okay. At the bottom of that is the Four of Pentacles. We've got the Two of Coins in reverse. We've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. We've got the Princess of Wands in reverse. We've got the King of Cups in reverse. What I want to say here is, it's driving me crazy because I feel like I keep saying this over and over again. There is still a little cache within you of unexpressed, I want to say childish, on some level, childhood or childish even, emotional stuff, which is coming out in your day-to-day life and maybe sabotaging you on some level. It's throwing you off balance. And so when you find yourself out of balance, there is a very good chance that you will find it in a repressed childhood emotion. Okay, that's what's showing up here for me. And again, the answer to that is to talk to the inner child, or if you have the awareness of the emotion, to simply recognize it and say, all right, I'm feeling this way. It's probably because X, Y, and Z in my past is a lot like X, Y, and Z in my present, and that's why I'm reacting like this. And that is not based in reality. It's based in a past situation. This is not that situation. Therefore, let's move on. So you can, in this case, use the mind to help move you forward emotionally, but it's important to have that awareness so that you can usefully bring yourself back into balance, as opposed to letting the mind run amok and then go in circles, right? In an unaware way, continuing to play out old patterns and painful patterns. When you are aware of the patterns, or when you are aware of the imbalance, and then you can look at what the pattern may be and then make the connections, it's more possible, it's easier to move forward. So when those emotions are coming up, just the King of Cups is telling me that it's sort of something repressed, okay? And Princess of Wands in reverse tells me that it probably comes from a childhood event. With the wands there, it makes me feel like an event, a powerful event in your childhood, okay? So know that. And your trigger is the feeling of being off balance in some way. It's in there. It's being held within. And of course, the key with the Four of Pentacles is that you've got to let it go. I often say you have to spend money to make money, and you have to release your emotions in order to draw in the emotion, have the space, the energetic and emotional space to draw in the emotions that you want to feel. And that doesn't mean that, negative emotions are necessarily bad. Sometimes they serve a purpose, but when it is coming from a wound, that wound must be cleaned and debrided and healed, okay? To do that, you need to get the crap out, yeah? Okay, what's next? I'm going to do one more set probably, and then we'll pull a couple. Actually, we got here is the Lovers. So in some ways, that's an ideal balance within you. But I also want to say that I really am feeling very much like this is a time to achieve more balance in your life moving forward, that this is the renewal, okay? I do also want to say that it's your choice whether or not you do it. And in order to create this unity within yourself, you will have to make that choice to do this work. You won't, if you just continue in the same patterns, nothing is going to change for you, including your external factors, right? Because the as above, so below, as within, so without. So if internally you're all over the place, what's your external going to look like, right? And so even more pointedly, if you are working toward this kind of perfectly balanced relationship, who needs to be balanced first, right? Yourself. So this is critical in really anything, because a romantic relationship is one thing, but there are relationships within the family. There's relationships with a life purpose. There's relationships with everything. Everything is related. That is unity consciousness. Everything is interconnected. And that balance is necessary in order to be in the highest possible vibration and alignment with your highest potential. And when you are in your highest potential, you actually help to align others to their highest potential. And that includes the collective. Okay, let's see what we get from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. Get one more. Okay. So the first one that came out is adventure. And actually, I feel like that's really echoed with this Knight of Cups and Prince of Cups and Prince of Wands together, because I feel like you are aware that you are on this huge adventure, that this is the biggest adventure of your life, and this sort of balancing of the self is such an understated but huge purpose in your life, and that you are moving forward into greater things, into greater, I don't want to even say greater, into more purposeful manifestations in your life, and that this is an important time for you. It's transitional. You can see the butterfly there, hugely transitional, but I think you're aware of the excitement even, and it's possible that we would do well to inject this time with that kind of high vibrational excitement, as opposed to holding ourselves back in fear. Remember when I was talking about people who are holding themselves back from doing something they're pulled to because they're afraid to take the wrong actions, okay? And so this is about doing things out of the ordinary, doing something maybe you wouldn't have done before, or maybe haven't tried before, or maybe haven't had the courage to surrender to before, all of that is valid, however it relates to whatever your situation is. Now, the next one that came out is hope. This is another really high vibrational energy to inject into your daily life right now. And it also came out with guardian angel. And so what I feel here is hope and trust. This is saying, yes, this is the biggest adventure of your life. This is scary. This is asking you to think about things in a new way. This is asking you to do things in a new way. This is asking you to reach so far outside of your own patterns so that you can be more, do more, be better. But you're protected. You're safe. You're being guided. You can trust. You can trust the universe. You can trust God, whatever it is that you believe in. You can trust. And your hope, that is like the feeling of the thing you're manifesting, not the mental picture, but the feeling. If you hold the hope in your heart, then you're going to be not only guided from the divine, but you're guided through the heart as well. And it creates a kind of, they're saying like an irresistible magnetic attraction, an irresistible magnetic field around you, okay? So this is all really positive, even though it feels like it may be coming out of a continued struggle of sorts, but the perspective is different. And so that is so exciting, and thank God. And I'm going to end with one card from the Sacred Rebels deck by Alana Fairchild. This was one of the first decks I ever had, and I still love the messages. So let's see what Source has for us from here. One message, please, for the collective, and I'll read the book, because her messages are very specific. One message for the collective, please. On the bottom of the deck, by the way, I just was compelled to look at it, inner trust. So that's a little bit like what we were just saying. But the card I actually pulled out here, sorry, before I have a disaster of cards falling. The card I actually pulled out here is number 38, Restore and Replenish. Restore and Replenish. So let's see what that has. By the way, also echoes one of the very first message that came out about making sure that your cup is full as you are trying to create all this goodness in the world. 38. You are in need of something so much deeper than rest. You need restoration, replenishment, and revival. This will not necessarily come from lying about somewhere, taking a moment out of your day or evening activities. You are more likely to gain what you need by breaking with your routine completely and doing something different. What do we say? You need some variety, some spice, some change to bring fresh energy into your body, mind, and heart. You need to restore and revive yourself by changing the usual flow of energy through your being. You could stimulate this process by going to a different place, meeting different people, and taking different action to what you would usually do. You can return to your regular routine in time. It feels good if it feels good for you. However, it is now time to move without pushing yourself beyond what is known, comfortable, and familiar. This oracle also comes as a message from the great loving guardian, which is life itself. You have been working so hard and have accomplished so much already. However, you often sell your accomplishments short and focus on how much more is yet to be done. Life is telling you that it is time to put down the paintbrush, the pen, the endless lists, and the thinking mind, and to get into your body. Take time to experience yourself and of nature. In and of nature. Okay, remember how to just be. In doing so, even for a relatively short amount of time, you will feel more of yourself and ready for the next phase. You might be surprised what just a day or two of this can do for you. Restoration does not have to be long and involved, especially if it's attended to when needed. This oracle is also confirmation that you are in an important transition place between one level of experience and the next. Yes. If you feel as though you are treading on water or in sort of a purgatory somewhere between your old life and your new life, then this particularly applies to you. If you can't quite break into the level you're reaching for, have faith. You're just taking a breather between races. Soon you will have the power and the energy you need to reach for the next level and succeed. If you've been considering a new endeavor or have recently started one, this oracle brings a message of encouragement. Yes, this is a good step forward for you. You might be worried that you're taking on too much. You're encouraged to take time out and rest and rebalance yourself, but you are supported in your need for new and different experiences to refresh your spirit. You may let some of these new endeavors go once you've gained what you need from them. However, they're useful now. You are encouraged to trust yourself and to know that you are working consciously to meet your own needs, and this is healthy and good. The Oracle of Restore and Replenish also comes with guidance for your healing. If you have been under the weather, you will soon be well again. If you have been working on healing your body, mind, or soul, this oracle comes with assurance that what you are doing is working and bringing you benefit. Even if you are yet to experience the full extent of that benefit, continue with your work and know that you are indeed healing. So, great confirmation of everything we talked about. And I'm pumped to see what all's coming up. I know that we do have a lunar eclipse coming up next week that will fall into the next reading, so we'll see what comes up for that eventually, but for now this is where we're at. And thank you again for watching and for subscribing and sharing and commenting. I appreciate it so much. I will see you guys next week. Okay, bye.